Hi everyone, I'm Jay Monet. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the books I'm going to read for the 2023 Buzzwordathon. For those who don't know, the Buzzwordathon or the Buzzword Readathon was created by Kayla from Books and Lala. She's a booktuber from Canada, and she created this challenge where every month there would be a different word or phrase or whatever that's relegated to the month, and you would have to read a book with that phrase or word in the title. I'm not one to do readathons because, I've said it multiple times, I'm a mood reader, so I don't really try to read what comes from each prompt, whatever. But I decided that this year, next year, 2023, I'll try to do the Buzzwordathon. I have enough books to fit all the prompts except for one, but once I get some book money, I can go fill in that prompt as well. So after digging through all my books, I found enough books to fit every prompt except for one, but I will in a few months hopefully be able to get a book that will fit that prompt. So what I'm going to do is say what each word is for each month, and then I'm going to show what book I'm going to read for that month. So the words for January for the Buzzwordathon is live or die, and the book that I'm reading would be To Live and Die, which is a collection of stories from the Civil War, and the editor was Kathleen Diffley. This anthology has a bunch of short stories that were written during the Civil War from various authors, and they show how life was in the US during this time. So the February word is verbs, so the title of the book can have any sort of verb in it. And so I'll be rereading for maybe the 5th time Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God. And for those of you who don't know, this is a Black classic. It's part of the canon. This novel follows Janie, who ventures into womanhood, and it follows her life as a light-skinned woman and how beauty affects her and how love affects her, and it goes through her journey down to a place in Florida where she becomes the wife of the mayor of this budding town, and it follows how the town views her and each other, how the community navigates the world, how Janie navigates the world, and how that affects her overall. Well, the buzzword for March is secret, and I'm reading All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. So this book follows Elise, a Black lawyer who has to figure out who killed her white boss. Suspicions grow as she ends up replacing him, and people think that it's odd that as the one Black person in the office, she becomes the head and she has to be in charge. And so people think that she might be involved with his murder, and so she has to navigate through her past and a whole bunch of things to figure out what's going on. The word for April is emotion, so emotion-related words like happy, sad, angry, etc. So the book I'll be reading is An Emotion of Great Delight by Tahira Mafi. This book follows Shadi, and this is a few years after 9/11 and the Iraq War began, and she has to navigate life in the US as hijabi. Her family has gone through a lot of tragedy, and she has to navigate life during this time. So for May, the buzzword is flavors. So I chose Queen Sugar by Natalie Bastille, and if you've watched the show, just know that it's like loosely based off of this book. This book follows Charlie as she takes her 11-year-old daughter to Louisiana from LA after the death of her father. Just like in the show, it involves her trying to deal with running a farm, dealing with cane business. Through her time down in Louisiana, she learns a lot about herself, and she has to figure out where she's going in life. So the next buzzword is other, and that's for June, and I'll be reading Love, Hate, and Other Filters by Samira Ahmed. This book follows 17-year-old Maya as she tries to balance two worlds, the one that her Indian parents want her to live and the one that she wants to live. Her parents want her to have a traditional Indian life and follow a career that she doesn't want, whereas she wants to move to New York and become a film student. As she navigates these issues between wanting to be herself and wanting to please her parents, a hate crime happens miles away, killing a young boy, and she has to deal with how that affects her community. So for July, for the Buzzwordathon, the prompt is weather words, so it's like snow, sleet, hail, rain. So I'll be reading Nikki Giovanni's Make Me Rain, which involves both poems and prose by the author. So for August, the prompt is body parts. So I'll be reading Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I'm not a big fantasy reader as much as I used to be, but I was really interested in this one. It's kind of like West African inspired mythology, and I started it like forever ago, and it wasn't the right time, so I put it down, so I'm gonna pick it back up. But this follows like the Orishas and a fallen king and all that jazz. So for September, the buzzword is game related words, so I'm picking up Ace of Spades for the second time. I also picked it up a while, like months ago, and then put it back down because it just wasn't doing it for me at the time, but I'm gonna try this again. And it follows two black teenagers, and it's kind of like Gossip Girl meets, I would say, like Pretty Little Liars, or the show on Netflix called Get Even. They have to navigate this elite school that's predominantly white. These two kids have to figure out who's sending these weird anonymous messages and why they're being targeted. For the month of October, the buzzword is magic words, and I'll be reading Conjure Women by Afia Adekora. And it follows, I think it's a saga, a family saga book. Yeah, and these two women were conjure women. They follow root work and hoodoo practices, and it goes over their lifetime and how they live as root workers. So for November, the word is good, and that's the book I don't have yet. And I plan on getting Tananari Dew's The Good House, and I don't remember exactly what it's about, but that will be my choice for November. So the final word for December is sound-related words. So I'm going to read Toni Morrison's Song of Solomon. This book follows Milkman and the town he's from, and it follows his family history along with his own journey as he tries to discover how to fly. Convinced that he can't fly at the beginning of the book, he does jump off of a roof thinking that it would work. That's not really a spoiler, but that's how the book starts off, and then the whole rest of the book is exploring the journey that got him to that position. So that's it. Those are the books that I'm reading for the 2023 Buzzwordathon. Hopefully I'll manage to read all 12 books. Hopefully I'll also be able to get that other book that I was talking about for the November prompt. And hopefully that I have a pretty good list of books, and we'll see if I'll deal with mood reading to the point where I have to skip some books. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. I'll probably make a reading blog for each separate month for the buzzword books. So until next time, bye.